UFC Live, Vera, Jones. Check your local listings.
In the world of mixed martial arts, the UFC's Octagon is home to the world's greatest fighters.
Jones likes to throw.
It's where prospects become contenders. Contenders become champions.
High clinch, watch
And champions become legends. When a fighter wins inside the Octagon, they tell the world they want more. Every KO, every tap out, every comeback win, all say the same thing, that they're ready for the next step. They can live up to the hype. Meet the expectations. Leave no doubt that the Octagon is their house. A battle of two dynamic light heavyweights. One's the most talked about prospect in years. The other, a talented veteran who's still trying to define his legacy. It's Brandon the Truth Vera versus Johnny Bones Jones. Two explosive heavyweights who can finish fights in the blink of an eye look to make their case for a shot at the UFC title. It's Junior Cigano dos Santos versus Gabriel Napao Gonzaga. Devastating heavyweight kickboxers will race each other to a knockout finish in this stand-up war. It's Czech Congo versus the headhunter Paul Buentello.
All the fights that evening, I think, are going to be barn burners, man.
So get ready for an inside look at these UFC contenders before their next step toward mixed martial arts greatness. It's Countdown to UFC, Vera versus Jones.
Jon Jones is a star.
The kid is extremely talented. He can kick and punch from any direction.
He's one of those guys that comes along, you know, every few years that just stands out.
He's been on fire lately.
Oh, spinning back. That hurt him. Unbelievable. Back fist. Bonner went down hard.
His timing is so good, Mike. 21 years old. Sky's the limit for that kid.
You know, sometimes I do get taken back by, you know, how fast things are going and the level of success that I'm starting to achieve. But, you know, I think it's just a testament to the really hard work and dedication that I put into this. I train deadly serious every time I step into the workout room. So when you train as hard as I train, you have no reason not to believe in yourself.
I love the way this kid thinks. I love everything about him. I think he's, you know, really got the perfect mindset for an up-and-coming mixed martial arts fighter. He's not cocky, but he's confident. He's very intelligent.
I'm definitely still learning out there in the UFC. My last fight, I realized that I was way more composed and relaxed, and I was actually having fun for the first time. So, you know, now that I have that mindset of just relaxation in the Octagon, you know, the sky's the limit.
Jon Jones is just freakishly athletic. The way the guy moves, the techniques that he uses in the Octagon, so rare, like his spinning elbow, the throws that he hits people with, just beautiful, technical Greco-Roman throws. You know, the way he's able to muscle around much bigger, stronger guys that you never see get tossed around. Like, when was the last time we saw Matt Hamill get tossed around in a fight? Probably only by Jon Jones. I mean, he's really that good.
He's got so much natural talent to go all the way to the top, even with a little experience that he has.
He's probably the youngest, talentedest guy in the UFC.
It's crazy because you know he's so talented, and you see so many glimpses of just greatness, and you're just like, man, you know, wonder what he could be.
Jon Bones Jones, the second coming of Jesus Christ. What Mr. Jones has done with the people that he's been given, yeah, he's been blowing through people. So yeah, he's a man. He's for sure dangerous, and he's for real. But he hasn't fought anybody like me yet. I'm not really impressed with his resume. It's hard to gauge how good he is just because he's destroyed the people that he's had so quick. I'm preparing for like I'm fighting Anderson Silva. I'm going worst case scenario, and we're just going to get in the best shape and be ready to go through a dogfight for 3 rounds.
When you win, obviously the other guy's not going to look good. You know, I went in there focused and, you know, and dominated him. You know, Matt Hamill was supposed to be the first guy to really test me, and, you know, I went in there really focused, and, you know, it wasn't much of a test.
Incredible, because we've never seen anybody handle Matt. Looking at Brandon Vera versus Jon Jones. This is Jon Jones's real test. Brandon Vera is world class. I mean, he has fantastic Muay Thai. He is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Lloyd Irvin. He has a wealth of experience, including fighting top guys. You know, being in there with Randy Couture, being in there with Tim Sylvia, being in there with top flight competition. He has that experience, stuff that Jon Jones doesn't have. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Jon Jones reacts to this high-level opponent in front of him.
I remember being where he was at, you know? I remember when I fought Frank Mir. I was asking for the big money. I was asking for, I wanted it, you know? I wanted to start moving up, yeah. It's a lot of pressure. It is pressure. But then it's another thing. We never seen him under pressure. Maybe it brings out the best in him. Maybe it brings out the worst. That's the biggest thing. There's an X factor with Jones that we don't know about. Nobody knows yet. And I'm going to have to be the one in the octagon with him to find out. It's like an honor and a bad thing at the same time.
You know, he could possibly be the first guy to test me, or he could possibly not. I'm ready to take this head on, you know. Brandon saying I haven't fought anyone. Who am I? Who am I to say, you know, Stephen Bonner wasn't good enough, or Hamill wasn't good enough? You got to take your steps. You know, just keep climbing this ladder. Just keep taking names. Ultimately, I want to get to the title, and I want to fight the best strikers. I'm just excited for, you know, this test, and I think every time you beat someone who's supposedly better than you, you elevate in a way. So, you know, I'll take his name and I'll bring his power with me after I get this victory.
Yeah, my job is to go in there and show everybody Jon Jones is not ready to be fighting Brandon Vera yet. Not yet. He's good. He's good, man. He's really good, but how skilled is this guy? How good is he? How hard can you push him before he breaks? Will he break? Does he like to get hit? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many unanswered variables to Jon Jones that's what makes me nervous about him more than anything else, you know? I don't believe all the hype and, oh, he's the next this, that. Man, I've seen that happen to so many fighters. It happened to me. I started believing the hype and I started losing fights, you know?
With Brandon Vera, it's how does he deal with a young Brandon Vera? How does he deal with a guy who's in basically the same position that Brandon Vera was in 4 or 5 years ago?
Brandon Vera, he burst onto the scene. I mean, just tearing through everybody and in the heavyweight division.
People were looking at him going, wow, this Brandon Vera kid has some really unlimited potential. Who knows how high his star is going to climb?
Ladies and gentlemen, 8-0 down the heavyweight division, Brandon Vera.
Brandon the Truth Vera makes the biggest statement of his mixed martial arts career.
Brandon Vera hasn't had as smooth a time as he did when he busted into the UFC. Now he's going up against a very tough, fast, aggressive, talented kid in Jon Jones.
Brandon Vera ran into some hiccups along the way. Of course, he wound up losing to Tim Sylvia, then dropped down to light heavyweight, where a lot of people thought that he was going to have much more success, then lost to Keith Jardine. Who do you give this fight to?
I have, you know, I don't know, Joe. You know, I probably lean towards Vera right now.
Declaring the winner by split decision, the Dean
If everything went way too easy, the book and the movie would be really boring. So it's good to have these bumps in the road. Keeps me human, keeps me sane, keeps me hungry. So I really can't complain, you know.
Just because I lost don't mean I'm going away. I'm coming back soon. I'll see y'all real soon.
And maybe it's a growing experience. I gotta look at it that way. Like, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. It's just how I look at it. 10 years from now, people are gonna be like, man, that dude put in his dues and he did it. He was a good champ. He was a really good champ. I'm gonna be the champ. I'm not gonna just be the champ. I'm gonna be the champ and be a great champ. I'm gonna have that belt and hold it one day. It's gonna be mine for a while.
Now, after 10 MMA bouts, Johnny Bones Jones has achieved main event status at UFC Vera vs. Jones. With a dynamic mix of Greco-Roman wrestling and unpredictable striking, UFC fans are already expecting great things from this 22-year-old. Jones, now in his second training camp with Greg Jackson, expects great things as well.
My goals for 2010 is just to continue to rise, you know, and become a better man and a better athlete. I don't like to lose. I train really hard not to lose. I don't like saying the word loss. I want to be considered, you know, the #1 light heavyweight in the world. I'm ready to take this head on, you know, ready to work for it, and it's going to take a lot of sacrifice.
Really go hard. This one, just be the fastest and strongest I've ever been. I'm excited. Real excited.
In this fight, I'll be training with Greg Jackson camp, you know, Keith Tradin, Rashad, all my brothers coming together and get this job done. Moving to Greg Jackson has been phenomenal for my career, mentally, physically. You know, I feel more sharp than ever, and you know, just being around all these, you know, elite warriors that say, you know, iron sharpens iron, and that's exactly what's going on.
He's trained a lot harder than he was for his last one, so you know, I think that he's in the right state of mind. You know, feeling good, looking good, so it's going to be a good fight.
Stakes are really high for this fight, but I'm excited. You know, my main goal is to make it towards the top, and I know, you know, on the way to the top, you got to beat good guys like Brandon Vera. He's a game opponent. You know, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
Brandon's one of the best strikers in the light heavyweight division, and so John's got to deal with that now.
Me and Brandon, you know, we're both known to have really dynamic styles. We both look to finish fights, and people like to see striking. You know, jiu-jitsu's a huge part of it, but people love striking. You're going to see fireworks. You're going to see two guys go out there in the middle of the octagon, and you know, it's going to be blood, sweat, and tears.
I think this is a big jump up in competition. I think, but Jon Jones is ready for this.
I figure I'm the underdog in this fight, and that's okay with me. You know, I'm fine with that. On the way to the top, you're always going to be the underdog. So I embrace the challenge. It's going to make me work harder than ever, and it's time to shock the world.
Jon's a guy that rises to the occasion, you know what I mean? As long as he's relaxed and he's confident in there, you could probably put him in there with just about anybody, and he'll do well, because he competes so well. Like, he gets in there and he just has so much fun doing it.
One time. Go for a twist that from there.
The great thing about him is he's come to our camp already a great fighter. He's already been exhausted and, like, you know, hands down and having to push through. He's already been through that. He's been there. So he's already a vet in a lot of ways that a lot of people aren't.
Tough competitions come with, you know, rising, so I embrace the challenge. You know, at the end of the day, it's just you guys in the cage getting it on. I'm just going to work really hard and you know, have faith in my abilities and just go out there and pull the trigger, do what I always do.
For me, it's got to be a tough fighter. Like, if we're taking a guy with a fight with a guy that's on his way down, there's no challenge there. There's no fear there. I like that fear. I like that challenge. That's good. That's what we want. That's going to get you up in the morning. We take him extremely serious. He's a bigger threat now than I think he ever is. I think he's really coming into his own. I thought he did really well in that Couture fight, and that's who I want Jon Jones to beat. I don't want Jon Jones to beat a guy that's not on his game. That's not, you know what I mean? That's a hollow victory. Why even get up in the morning if you're not challenging yourself?
That's right. We're going to train however we want to beat the very best Brandon Vera. So come with your A game, bro.
Brandon, the true.
Vera, he wants to stay on the. Oh, big right hand. Good right hand. Good knee. And he's a two. Couture is down. Vera looking to finish. But this is struggle. Oh, look at this. Brandon's got a takedown late in the fight for Vera. And he's gigantic. Yep. Big knee by Vera. Answered by Couture. Good uppercut. What an exchange. What a finish. What an exchange.
On the night of November 14th, 2009, Brandon Vera was waiting to hear his name announced as the winner after a 3-round war with the man he called his hero, Randy Couture. However, all 3 judges awarded the contest to UFC Hall of Famer Couture, to the disbelief of many in attendance, including Vera.
MMA is a bitch, and if you let it go to the judges, you let it out of your hands, you know? So I'm gonna take the blame for this loss. I'm gonna man up. It's my fault. I should have finished the fight. I had a couple opportunities during the fight that I should have finished it. I'm super happy I got a chance to fight Randy Couture, my hero, my legend. And I'm letting the rest of the 205 division know I'm gonna whoop your ass when you get in the octagon with me.
It was a good fight, man. I really enjoyed the fight. I got to test myself against one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the world. Nobody's ever going to be able to push as hard as Randy can push in the clinch or just pushing the pace of the fight. So for me to be able to go 3 rounds with that guy, make him tired and look up at the clock before I took him down, that was a win in itself. And it's cool. I'm not sour towards Randy. I'm just sour at the outcome of the match. My job is to go in there and finish fights. And the ones that I've lost, I didn't finish. So it's my fault, you know. Trying to figure out why that little oomph was missing. Wondering why. And then realized, man, I'm defending takedowns way too much. I'm trying to figure out where I became concerned about getting taken down all of a sudden. I used to be more comfortable on my back than I was on my feet, you know? That's what I was doing when I first came out. I fight on my feet. If you end up taking me down, then I just submit you. So if we end up in the clinch, we end up on the ground, I'm cool with it. If we stand up and bang, I'm in. I'm cool with that too.
Up here in Big Bear, boxers have been coming here for years, and it's the altitude, you know. He's fighting up in altitude, so mainly like just not so much just getting adjusted, but also, you know, getting more out of yourself, and it's helping a lot. You can really tell.
I think that Jon Jones brings a different kind of quickness and speed, where he's coming from all sort of unorthodox angles and different positions and stuff, but Brandon is definitely a world class in terms of his technique and speed, so it's going to be an interesting fight.
This is a fight that I've been looking forward to. Like, even though before I knew who Mr. Jones was, you know, there was always like, man, I want to see somebody, I want to fight somebody who's going to push me, who I can see what's going on with myself. I need to find out what my full potential is. I need to find out how far I can go in this sport. I don't think I'm there yet, you know. Every time I train, I'm like, damn, I could have did a little bit more. Every time I fight, man, I should have did a little bit more. It's cool. I'm in a good position. I'm living the dream, fighting for the UFC and getting better every day. So my goal is to be vying for that title shot.
In this fight, it's more important for Brandon Vera to get the W.
This is a big fight for Brandon Vera. Brandon Vera coming in and knocking off a young, talented guy makes a big statement to where Brandon Vera is right now.
What's going to happen in the Brandon Vera fight is we're going to find out what Jon Jones is really all about. We're going to see Jon Jones against, unquestionably, the toughest, most well-rounded, most experienced fighter he's ever faced in Brandon Vera.
Oh, beating Brandon Vera is going to be huge for my career. You know, he's definitely a well-known fighter. He's respected in the game. I don't feel inferior to anyone when it comes to mixed martial arts. So I'm just going to go out there and bang it out.
Jon Jones, he's young in his career, man, you know, and he's main event. All eyes are on him. He's got the hype behind him. And at the same time, he has nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fighting me And if he loses to me, he can always say, oh, I'm young in my career, I lost to Brandon Vera. But if he beats me, boom, he's gone. He's on his rocket ship and he's headed towards the stars, you know? So my job is to delay the launch as long as possible. We'll find out what he's made of when I hit him.
Brandon Vera wants a striking war. That's what I'm going to give him. I'll go for it. I'll strike with him all day.
I don't see this fight going to the ground at all. Unless there's, you know, in the middle of the striking, somebody goes down and they end up on the ground. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that this is going to be a complete stand-up war.
Technically, I give the edge to Brandon Vera. I think Brandon Vera's Muay Thai is at a really high level. You know, the power that he possesses in his kicks and his punches is at a very high level, and Brandon is only getting better. I think Jon Jones has an excellent reach, and Jon Jones has the benefit of being extremely unorthodox. You really don't know what he's going to throw. With a guy like that, who's also such a great wrestler as well, who grabs a hold, he'll dump you on your head, a guy like that is very difficult to get comfortable with. And I think that's one of the keys to Jon Jones' success. You know, Jon Jones is so unpredictable.
To win this fight, I think both guys really have to do the same thing. I think it's whoever gets off first. Whoever can get off first, whoever can impose their will and get the punches off, and whoever works better in the clinch. I see these two in the clinch a lot. Both strong, aggressive, stand-up fighters. If they both fight up to their potential, either one of these guys can win this fight.
I do this to provide for my family, and someone getting in the way of that just won't happen.
How hard do you hit Mr. Jones, and can you really take a beating? I'm down to do that all 15 minutes until one of us quits or one of us goes to sleep, you know? I'm down.
UFC Live, Vera, Jones. Check your local listings.